So I should start this video by saying rest in peace to Kevin Keegan, who sadly passed away this week. A legend of the game, someone that everyone speaks so highly of, so I should start this video with that. Now, today I'm going to be going through some of the transfer activity we've seen so far this week in the Premier League. Been some big moves for multiple clubs. Of course, we'll start with my club, Chelsea, what we've been up to. I did do a video with a bit more detail about everything going on with us yesterday. That's already up. If you'd like to hear a bit more about our activity. But of course, we'll start with the obvious here. Morgan Rogers was confirmed by the club now. He's been pictured in the shirt, which is so good to see. He spoke so well, of course, in his interview as well, his first interview. Really excited for this signing, as I've said in a previous video. But it's good to see it officially announced, officially over the line now. The club have announced it, and he was unveiled as a Chelsea player yesterday, and this is really exciting stuff. 117 million makes him our record signing. It makes him ever the most expensive English player of all time as well. But I don't think that will affect him. I don't think he's someone that will be affected by the pressure and that comes with a price tag like that. I don't think that'll phase him. The type of character he is at all. Now, going the other way, it's looking like Garnacho's days at Chelsea are done, and we do really need to just get a shot at this point. 40 million we paid for him, that's roughly what we want back. Obviously with Roma have put in some bids, but there's been no agreement between the clubs, so I'm guessing that they were lower than that asking price. That means, now he's looking to be headed to Aston Villa on what will initially be a loan, but with an option to buy that would be easily triggered. They would easily have to activate, because we are not going to let him go on loan unless there's like without a option to buy, or like an obligation to buy within the contract, which I think's decent business. If we can get that one done, that'll be good. Emery wants him at Villa, and well, it's looking like we can get that one over the line. Now on to Aston Villa now, actually, because they've made some big moves of their own since selling Rodgers to Chelsea. Of course, them losing Rodgers is always going to be a blow, but I think they kind of expected it this window, and I think they've been smart of how they've gone about it. I think they've cashed in early. They've done the deal with Chelsea seemingly quite secretly, while Arsenal believe that they were the front runner seemingly. But because of that, I think they've maxed out. If they waited longer in the window, he might have gone for less. I think they have cashed in early, which I think makes sense. I can see why they've done it this way round. And the money they've got for him, I think they've spent well. Duran Monzambi is a really good signing for them. Really good attacker, someone that we've seen play at the World Cup, has some good performances for Switzerland. Someone that Villa will be familiar with as well. They obviously come up against him last season when he was playing for Freiburg, and a fantastic season he had out there as well. 59 million, I believe the fee was, so that's a massive signing for Villa, and that's a real sort of big move of their own in response to losing Rodgers. And then of course as well, João Gomez, good signing for the defence as well from Wolves, 38 million, making some good additions there. They're going to add Garnacho as a further attacking option to that team as well. So I think they're certainly making a good move so far this window. All things considered, seeing as they sort of knew they was going to lose Rodgers coming into the window, I think they kind of knew that would be the reality. Two signings that I think we could expect to be over the line very soon, unless anything goes wrong, is Maxime Lacroix to Chelsea, Bruno Guimaraes to Arsenal. Both of these two are certainly moving in the right direction. Certainly not going to be cheap, certainly not going to be easy for the clubs to get hold of though. As for Lacroix, Crystal Palace have used like the price that Paul van Hecker signed for Spurs from Brighton for as like a benchmark. It's pretty much saying, well, we want 55 million at least. That's kind of, they set that as like, yeah, that's the benchmark of that's what a player of this calibre, a defender of this calibre costs in today's market. I can sort of see why they're doing this. If it looks at what their rivals have sort of received for a player, and they're similar calibre, and they're saying, yeah, we want that's what we want to get as well. Palace and Brighton, I think probably the first time ever, they're both in Europe next season. Palace in the Europa League, Brighton in the Conference League. So both of them two will certainly want to get as much as they can for players they are letting go of. And I think Lacroix definitely moves to Chelsea, definitely still heading in the right direction. Might be a little bit more than we initially thought, but I think we're certainly getting there. And that's Bruno Guimaraes, similar situation there. Of course, already sold to Sandro Tonali. They're trying to get as much as possible, trying to hold out for as much as they possibly can. And I think again that's the reason why that one's not over the line yet for Arsenal. But I think they'll be after what's happened with Rodgers, I think they'll be keen to get it over the line because they won't want to end up in the same situation there. Now Leeds have made some decent moves this window as well. Tarek Milivojevic is another player that's impressed at the World Cup as well. A lot of people will remember he was the player that was fouled by Balogun in what became an infamous red card that was overturned. But it's like this signing's been made from Sassuolo. Again, this is a big move for Leeds. I think this is a really big transfer. 34 million, their second highest transfer fee of all time. Their second record signing for Leeds. I think Jorginho Rusa was the highest. But yeah, good signing there. They've got Leeds. Harry Wilson on a free as well, and Carl Darlow going the other way on a free to Man United. So I think it's a good start for them in this window there. Big signing there for them, of course, in Milivojevic. And speaking of Man United, of course, signed Andrew Santos from Chelsea recently. Ederson, his move from Atalanta to Man United seemed to have fallen through at the last minute. I thought that one was over the line, but seemingly just went through fallen through at the last minute. So that one's not happening now. I'm not sure who United are going to go for next. There's a lot of rumours linked with a lot of different players. We'll see what direction they go in next. Liverpool, the window has not quite gotten started yet at this point. They're looking like, there's of course been links with a lot of players that have not really gone anywhere as of yet. They've of course got some money off, very good signing there. But other than that, we've not seen them make that any more big moves, which is surprising, I think. But I think we're surely going to see something from Liverpool really soon. I think in the coming days, in the coming week, you'd think at least. Now Osman Diomande seems to be certainly looks like a move to Nottingham Forest could be on for him. Oliver Glasner recently taken the job at Nottingham Forest. I think that a move for him there could be on. I think he was someone that part of the reason Glasner left Palace because he's fallen out with the board. They sold a lot of his best players, didn't replace them with the players he wanted. One of them was Diomande. He wanted him last season where it would have cost a lot less and to get him in, and the board for whatever reason didn't pursue it. Now he's at Nottingham Forest, he's still keen on the signing. It would cost a bit more, it would be a big signing, it would be a huge signing for him. There's a real showing of ambition for Forest, I thought. Pereira sacking him was harsh. Last season he got the Europa League semi-final, he did the job he was brought in to do. They was in a really bad way, looking like relegation was a real possibility, but he come in and he finished really strong. Big unbeaten run, and he steered him away from trouble. But that's what he's good at, Pereira. But I think it's harsh, but I think a real showing of ambition to get rid of Pereira and bring in Oliver Glasner. Europa League winner, someone with so much experience, was proven across different leagues in Europe. I think in Bundesliga and Premier League. I think that's real sort of, and I think they've shown some real ambition here. The fact if the board do go through with this transfer and they are able to get in Diomande into this team, I think that could be a real statement from Nottingham Forest. So it's definitely something worth keeping an eye on there. Man City have of course completed a massive signing in Elliot Anderson. Going the other way though, potentially could we see another England international go the other way. John Stones is available and a free agent. Now I think that this could be, of course he's linked with Chelsea, back to Chelsea briefly. John Stones' move to Chelsea could potentially be on the cards here, and I think a free transfer, despite his injury record, would definitely be worth a shot, because I think if we can keep him fit, what a signing that could be. but we'll keep an eye on that. I think it's definitely worth. I think from our point of view, I think that would be worth doing. Free transfer. Let's just go for it. And as for, of course, Spurs have made big moves. Of course, already Van Hecker, Tonali, Fernandez. Massive signings here. You could argue they've overpaid for all these players, but this spent a lot. But I think at the same time, again, today's market, that's how much a lot of players are going to cost. And also, if they wanted to get them in early, get them ready for the season, and just get them, and just make sure they get them over the line. I think, you know, that they certainly did. You certainly understand why they sort of went early with a lot of these moves, and yeah, as you can see why that's happened. And that's for Fernandez. It's a big signing for them, of course, but for West Ham, there's a lot of money going into them as well from that side. And they've also just, of course, they're in the Championship next season, but they've just sold Somerville, who was linked to Premier League clubs. He's moved to Al Hilal. It was pretty much a case of their sales to the highest bidder. Al Hilal coming for, I think, it was about 68 million, so he went. So there's no surprise there, really. And Bowen also won't be making a Premier League move or move anywhere else. He's staying at West Ham, and he was, after the final game of the season, it was very much sounded like the way he was speaking in his interview that he was going to stay. But I did just wonder, like, would he make the switch? Would he? But no, apparently not. It certainly looks like he's staying long to West Ham, and he's going to stay to try and get back up, which he's certainly got to admire, got to respect. So that's about it for now in terms of transfer activity. Now, for pre-season friendlies, a lot of them will be getting underway soon for Premier League clubs. Of course, Chelsea, we played behind closed doors one the other day that I did a video about. I've done another video about this, gone up already. Bit of a confusion over what the final score actually was there. The other team that's kicked off, Man United and Wrexham, faced each other in Finland the other day in a friendly, and I think Wrexham won 1-0, which certainly impressive result for them. And I think I think years ago Wrexham might have had an upset against Man United in the cup as well. I think they did, and if that is the case, and they've got quite a good record against them with this result. But yeah, there was not the best of starts, Man United, but again, it's very early. You can only read you can't read too much into these pre-season friendlies, but certainly something to keep an eye on. Something to it's very good to have. As good as the World Cup's been, of course, it's always good to have club football back. I'm looking forward to the new season now. It's all starting to it's all coming around very quickly.